Example 1, graph the conic sections in standard form. So this particular problem says to graph and determine the foci and the vertices given this equation. Well, first, if we look over at the formula chart, you'll see that this example is not in a correct form. So standard form, you see here is for circle standard form, parabola, ellipse, hyperbola. When I look at the picture here, I see that there's two squareds, which means it's either an ellipse or hyperbola. But the minus means that it's going to be a hyperbola, because that's what where a hyperbola comes from. So when I check this problem, you look at hyperbola, we have the minus, and it'll be this formula with the y being positive. And so the first thing I'm going to do to get in the right form is I'm going to set it equal to 1 by dividing everything by 144. So I'll divide all this. And you get to go in the calculator if you're not sure what this value is, and you can find out that 16 divided by 144, that's going to be 1 over 9, like that. And so this means that this value can reduce to y minus 2 squared over 9 minus, this is x plus 3 squared over 16. And all this would equal 1. Now we could go graph this in our calculator. The way to graph it is when you're over in graph, you would go menu, graph entry, and you'll choose relation, which is number 2, and you could just type in the equation here. Or honestly, you could type in the original if you want to make sure you didn't make a mistake. You could go from here and say what 16 y minus 2 quantity squared minus 9 parentheses here x plus 3, and we square that and set that equal to 144. Now that should give me my picture as well. You can see it's a vertical hyperbola. But so I'm going to go off of this though. So that's how you do it in the calculator. How you do it by hand is the inside lies here. This is telling you to go up 2 units right here. But up. This is saying go up 2. This is saying go left 3 because inside lies. So I'd go 3 units left. 1, 2, 3, up 2 units. That would be the point for the center. So that's what I just plotted there. Is the center is left 3 and up 2. And now this tells us from there where the vertices are. This is our a squared. According to the formula, the a squared comes first. So a squared equals 9. Which means a would equal 3. So we're going to go, since it's under y, we're going to go up and down 3 units from the center. So I go up 1, 2, 3. That's a vertice. And I'll go down 1, 2, 3. That's my other vertice. Okay, now this value is our b squared. So b squared would equal 16. Put that over here, b squared. So b squared equals 16, which means b equals 4 when you take the square root. And since the b is underneath the x value, this means we're going left and right 4 units. And so from the vertice, for a hyperbola, you go from the vertices the opposite direction. So instead of going up and down 4, I go left and right 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 units right there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 units right there. That's covertice, and then I do the same thing over here. And now, once I've done that, I can add my asymptotes. This. And there. And now the hyperbolas will start from the vertices, and they'll go out towards the asymptotes like this. Now all this is just a proper way of graphing. It's very in-depth here. Whoops. And we continue on that way. Now this also says determine the foci and the vertices. We did already find the vertices. So we found that this was left 3 units, that was 2, then we got 3 more, so that would be at 5. So the vertice here, I could label as being at -3, 5, and the other was at -3, and that was down 1, -1. But now to find the foci, or the foci, if you will, what you do is we got to use the C value. So vertices come from the letter A. Foci, or foci, come from the letter C. And so the formula, I'm going to go to the formula chart here. Blow this up so it's a little bit easier to see here. Maximize this. We were working with the hyperbola that has a y squared first. The formula you go off of is here, this ABC relationship. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. So when I come back over here, I'm going to take, to get my C squared, it's A squared plus B squared. So what I'm going to do is just draw a line here. I'm going to add these, and this will give me C squared. So 9 plus 16 is 25, which means my C is 5. Since this is a vertical hyperbola, it'll go up and down. So I'm going to say since vertical, and I'm just going to do U/D, up and down 5. So I'm going to go from the center, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a foci. And my other one would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my other foci. To label them over here, this would be left 3 up 7. If you counted, left 3 up 7, just 2 more than this one. And the other point would be 2 lower than this one. It would be negative 3, comma, negative 3. Let's check it. Left 3, 1, 2, 3, down 3, 1, 2, 3. Yep, and that's all the pieces to our hyperbola here. Now you have a couple for you to try.